Right. Kind of the kickoff for 2025. We're in Germantown, big pond behind me. We did all that digging in one day. We got the excavator and a very motivated team. That's what it takes. We got a whole bunch of rock moved around, getting ready to drop the underlayment and liner. This is going to be pretty sick. February, beginning of February, Groundhog Day, Pawtucket Pete, whatever his name is, did not see a shadow. We're going to have an early spring. However, in about a week, we get some more snow, according to the weather, which is always right. So, you know, stay tuned on that, but really stay tuned on this. The end of the week, Friday, maybe sooner. This will be up and running, and it's going to be pretty sick.
What's good, guys? It's Hollywood. It's bright out here without my shades on. We are at the end of day 2. We've had a historical day 1 and day 2 on this project in Germantown, Maryland. There's Lincoln Sr. over there. We have been working with the machine lately. You know, when you give Premier a machine, we're just gonna go absolutely crazy. So the amount of progress that we've made in 2 days on this fairly large pond is really unprecedented. You know, we love our rock pads, we love our rock carts, but being able to have the machine picking up rocks, placing them, moving liner, doing all that stuff has just been a tremendous help. It's allowed us to really lock in and focus on our artistry, not having to break our backs so much. So it's really been a phenomenal 2 days of this project. But yeah, we're about done here. Pretty much ran out of rock, so the sun's still high, but we're out of materials. So we'll be back tomorrow, restocked, reloaded, ready to go. And you guys stay tuned. That's what's goody. What's goody, guys? It's Hollywood. We are almost done building a pond, which, as you guys know, is always bittersweet because we get to see amazing waterfalls, but we don't get to be here anymore. So anyway, I am working and nearly done working on the edge of the pond on this front side. Edge detail usually happens towards the end of the project just because we build from the bottom up. And in this particular pond, Kuzi and I over there spent a lot of time, like 2 days straight, making sure this edge here was perfect. A lot of care and consideration had to go into this because you can see on the edge here, there's a bunch of steppers, which for one, we had to make sure each and every single one was level and stable because people are going to want to walk all the way up to look down into the pond and interact with the fish and, you know, get a close view of the rock work and the waterfalls and everything. So safety is paramount. All these rocks have to be completely solid, which they are, but that takes time. Another aspect of this that required a considerable amount of care, bringing in all this stuff while also being extremely careful with the patio. In other cases, we might just be building a pond in a plot of grass, can usually move a little bit faster and have more trial and error. But with this, every step had to be very meticulously calculated and measured out. What we've been doing just now is filling in the voids behind the steppers and making it match up with the patio. This involves gravel, foam again, and I've been spending the day doing some small rocks here to create a bit of a clay mosaic effect, because I don't personally like to see, and our bosses harp on this too, we don't want to see too much gravel just going all the way around like a ring of gravel. Adding in these little pieces of rock helps to naturalize it a little bit, helps to, I think, make a bit more of a welcoming approach to the pond, a nice transition from the patio to the natural stone as well. You know, I just like working on little details like this. You know, King Mike likes to entrust me with doing like stacking and little mosaics and stuff like this. So yeah, I have been working really hard on the mosaics and the edge work today. I hope the clients love it, and I hope that they walk all over these steppers, because this pond is going to draw them in. And yeah, the edge detail's almost done. Kuzi's over there finishing the edge back there. As you can see, that just goes up to dirt, so the way that edge happens can be a little different. There can be a bit more of like a wall there, whereas this is like a very flat top. So yeah, this is just one of the finishing aspects of the pond. Pretty soon we're gonna be able to see it all run, and I'm gonna be excited. Yes, sir.
Well, is there anything you want to say about your waterfall?
Yeah, I'm going to be hard on myself in the last drop. It's definitely not as I wanted it, but the rest of it is better than I could have hoped. Superb.
Beautiful.
The middle drop is...
Premier Family, Prime Helfrich here. We've got our brand new aquascape and premier ecosystem pond here in beautiful Darnestown, Maryland, with what I'm now facing is a beautiful view of the mountains in, I believe, Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area. We just fired the pond up. We've all been basking in the symphony of negative ions that Wells cultivated. I feel better already. I hope the client does too. She seemed to love it. I'm sure as she continues to live with the pond, get to really know it on a personal level, she'll enjoy it even more. She's already asking about maintenance. She can't wait to have us back in her yard, cracking jokes, making fun, spreading joy, taking care of her pond, of course. Her husband, Matt, also mentioned that they're gonna be sad to see us go. We built them an aquascape ecosystem pond, but we gave them the premier experience. That's what's goody. We'll be back Monday for minor cleanup and some grading. But otherwise, the pond in itself is all complete and it is looking about as premier as you'd expect any product we do to look.
Hey everybody, Kuzi here with Premier Ponds. The day is dwindling down. We have about 2 hours of sunlight left, but that doesn't stop us from putting in 2 hours of hard work. You know, the sun is like a natural alarm clock when you work at Premier. The sun rises, right to work, and then it goes down and you just go down with it. So that being said, this client for the first time ever will not only be able to enjoy the beautiful sunset, but as well water action and noise with it. We're actually very impressed with the Aquascape 5PL with how much noise and water it's producing. We had some of the more novice members of the crew even questioning if this is in fact a 5PL. I'm not going to name names, but you can hear them working with their heads bowed down in the background. So enough about that. My favorite part of this pond is the floating rock. I think that it is incredible how we built an interactive fish tunnel and on top of that put a 600-pound rock that the client, or maybe even a doggo, can sit on, stand on, jump onto, and enjoy the pond. And adding that little bit of interaction is worth the extra work, the extra money, and overall I'm in love with this product. It's really nice to get to build in the winter time, so enjoy.
Hi, yes, this is Emmanuel. I'm here with the crew of Premier Pond. First heard of Premier Pond like maybe 15 years ago or 10 years ago when I was in a nursery and I saw this beautiful little pond display and I noted the name and I said at some point we will use these guys. So we found our forever home here in Maryland. Contacted Andrew, and from the get-go, I mean, Andrew is just so nice and so easy to work with, and they built this beautiful pond. It's exactly what I picture. I mean, it's so natural looking, and the way they set up those flat stone, it just hugs the patio perfectly, and it looks great. The waterfall is beautiful, and I just can't wait to have it landscaped and have the fishes, and the crew is super nice. I mean, it's been a pleasure, even though the weather is kind of cold, but it's been so fun to have those guys, and I would recommend them to anyone. So go ahead and build your pond and you're gonna love it.
good at touching the rock.